Absolutely. So I've had zero conversations with Christian Horne. There's no truth to that. We're absolutely committed to Graham Loden as our team principal.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to really getting under the skin of the big stories.
That's right.
And today, we are jumping right into the Formula One paddock, specifically that whirlwind of rumor that just, well, took over everything.
Oh, yeah, that was intense.
We're talking Christian Horne, the, legendary Red Bull figure, and this potential move to the new Cadillac F1 team. It felt huge.
It really did. A proper paddock shockwave, potentially.
So our mission today is to unpack that whole story for you. We'll go from the first whispers through all the noise online, look at what the reports were actually saying, and get to the bottom of it. How did this massive rumor catch fire so fast? And then, well, how did it get put out?
It's a great case study in how F1 narratives build and sometimes collapse.
Exactly. Think of this as your complete briefing, all the twists, all the turns, everything you need to know about this whole saga.
And it says so much about the sport, doesn't it? The personalities, the stakes.
Absolutely. It's amazing how fast things move. And Horner's situation, his history with Red Bull, that's the foundation for all the speculation.
Definitely. You have to start there to understand why his future was such a hot topic.
So let's set that stage. Christian Horne at Red Bull, we're talking 2 decades, right? Building that team. Well, literally from the ground up into absolute giants of F1.
Yeah, from nothing, as they say.
Yeah.
An incredible achievement. You look at the numbers, 124 wins, multiple world titles.
It's an astonishing record. It builds this almost untouchable reputation. So when the news broke about his departure, it wasn't just news, it felt like an earthquake in the sport.
It really did. And his exit, July 2025, it wasn't exactly a smooth handover, was it?
No.
It came after what was, for Red Bull, a pretty dismal season. They actually slipped behind McLaren.
Unthinkable just a year or two before.
Right. And that was on top of, reports of internal strife and also the sort of lingering shadow from those misconduct allegations.
Which, we should note, were internally cleared, but still part of that UK lawsuit, correct?
Correct. So it's a really messy backdrop for his departure. Not a clean break.
So he wasn't just leaving, he was leaving under a bit of a cloud, navigating all that.
Precisely. And then you add the contractual stuff on top, this gardening leave situation.
Ah, yes, the famous gardening leave.
Which meant, okay, technically he might be available from January 2026.
But
he was reportedly still tied to Red Bull contractually until mid-2030. And there were these massive 110 million payoff negotiations happening.
Wow, 110 million, that's significant leverage for Red Bull.
Hugely significant. It meant any immediate move elsewhere was, let's say, complicated. He wasn't just a free agent ready for the next job.
Okay, so Red Bull still had him on a very, very tight leash, effectively. That makes sense. So given all that complexity, where did people first think he might end up before Cadillac became the big story?
Well, the initial chatter, it jumped around a bit. Ferrari got mentioned briefly.
Right, but Basura got extended pretty quickly.
Exactly, so that died down fast. Then Alpine came up. That seemed maybe more plausible, partly because of his known links with Flavio Briatore.
Okay, the Briatore connection, yeah.
These early links just showed, how much interest there was. Everyone was watching. Where does a figure like Horne go next? The stakes felt really high.
And then, boom, mid-August 2025, Cadillac. That seemed to come out of left field. Why them? What was the connection?
It was fascinating how the narrative suddenly focused there. Cadillac, obviously, joining F1 in 2026, initially with Ferrari power units.
Before the GM engines arrive later, yeah.
Right, around 2029. And it was, I think, the German magazine Auto, Motor, and Sport that first reported interest from Cadillac and Horne.
For what kind of role? Because they already had a team principal, didn't they?
They did. Graham Louden was appointed back in December 2024. So the speculation wasn't necessarily that Horne would replace Louden directly, but maybe an advisory role or some kind of senior management position.
Okay, so something leveraging his experience.
Exactly. And the key phrase that kept coming up was Horner's startup magic.
Ah, the Red Bull origin story again.
Precisely. His proven ability to build a team from scratch seemed like a perfect fit for Cadillac's own build-from-scratch project in F1.
That makes sense, like history repeating itself.
And some Italian outlets like Formula Uno and Alice Tecnica, they ran with it quite hard. They called the deal likely, even suggesting talks had been going on since December.
Since December. Wow, okay. So this wasn't maybe as sudden as it felt publicly.
Well, that was the report. And then things got even spicier with the driver talk, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, the reunion angles. That really caught fire online.
Absolutely. Suddenly you heard whispers about Sergio Perez. after being dropped by Red Bull.
Poetic justice, maybe.
Or Valtteri Bottas, who was already rumored to have signed with Cadillac around August 23rd.
Yeah.
Could Horner bring one of them along?
And the Chico Horner Dream Team posts started popping up everywhere.
Exactly. People love that kind of narrative.
Yeah.
Imagining these new dynamics, unexpected partnerships, that's peak F1 rumor mill stuff.
It fuels the whole off-track drama.
But it's important to remember, even around August 23rd, despite all the noise, the reality check was no signatures, just a lot of paddock chatter.
So the consensus then was still mostly hype.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Maybe, 80% hype, 20% maybe possible, but that 20% was enough to really get people talking.
Okay, but before it all got shut down, let's pause there, because the debate was fierce, wasn't it? What were the arguments that made people think, yeah, this Cadillac thing could actually happen?
Well, on the pro side, the biggest one, undeniably, was Horner's track record.
Oh.
That proven ability as a team builder.
You just couldn't ignore the Red Bull success story.
Exactly. It lined up so well narratively with what Cadillac needed someone who knew how to build a winner. And you had sources like GP fans pointing out he likely had limited options, maybe just Cadillac or Alpine.
So a process of elimination almost.
Kind of. And some podcasts, like Nailing the Apex, they were talking up the Perez reunion idea, saying it could be an interesting move for a new team meeting experience. That whole narrative was quite compelling.
But there were big red flags too, weren't there? Hurdles that made people skeptical.
Definitely. Significant obstacles. Firstly, Graham Loudon was already in place as team principal. That wasn't insignificant.
Right, you don't just sideline your appointed leader easily.
Then you had the massive $110 million payoff negotiation still hanging over everything with Red Bull. That's a huge financial and legal complication.
And probably the elephant in the room, the controversies.
Exactly. The U.S. brand caution.
Yeah.
General Motors, Cadillac's parent company. You have to assume they'd be very sensitive about the baggage Horner carries from the misconduct allegations and the lawsuit.
So it wasn't just his talent in play, it was the whole picture. And the paddock seemed split too. I remember Zach Brown at McLaren wasn't exactly rolling out the welcome mat.
No, Brown was quite clear, suggesting F1 might be better off without him. Which is strong stuff.
But then his old rival, Toto Wolff at Mercedes, was actually praising his past dominance.
Yeah, Wolff lauded his achievements, which shows that division, that complexity of opinion within F1 itself.
And social media was just a frenzy.
Complete frenzy. You had Reddit memes making jokes about who Cadillac's first sponsor might be if Horner joined. X, Twitter. It was just endless debates. No way it's happening. Versus this would be extraordinary.
It really shows how hard it is to sort fact from fiction in that environment. You need that critical thinking.
Absolutely vital.
And then the music stopped. Around August 26, 27, the rumor wasn't just cooled, it was, as you said, conclusively debunked. What happened?
The final word came straight from the top. Cadillac CEO Dan Torres. No ambiguity.
What did he say exactly?
He gave a very direct quote. He said, "There have been no talks with Christian Horner, and there are no plans to do that. I'd like to officially shut down that rumor."
Wow. Officially shut down. You can't get much clearer than that.
Nope. And that quote went everywhere immediately. ESPN, Reuters, Newsweek, all the major outlets picked it up. That was it. Game over for the rumor.
You could almost hear the air go out of the balloon across the F1 internet.
It was incredibly swift and effective. And importantly, at the same time, Cadillac did two other things.
Okay.
They publicly reaffirmed their full support for Graham Loudon as team principal.
Solidifying his position, shutting down that angle too.
Exactly. And they formally announced their driver lineup.
Confirming Bottas and Perez.
Yes. Valtteri Bottas, 10 wins. Sergio Perez, 6 wins. They really emphasized the experience angle, highlighting their combined 16 Grand Prix victories.
So a clear message. This is our plan. These are our people. Move along. Nothing else to see here.
Pretty much. It was a masterclass in shutting down speculation and refocusing the narrative on their strategy. And for fans, you finally got that clear answer after weeks of will he, won't he.
So the Cadillac dream, as exciting as it was for some, just crumbled. Why? When you put all the pieces together now, what were the definitive reasons it didn't happen?
I think looking back, it really comes down to a couple of key things connecting. The weight of Horner's controversies, absolutely. That U.S. brand caution from GM was likely a massive factor. Big American corporations are just very wary of that kind of potential negative PR.
Especially with a brand new F1 entry, they want a clean start.
Exactly. But there was maybe another layer too. Bernie Ecclestone offered an interesting perspective.
Oh. What did Bernie say?
He suggested that Horner's ultimate ambition wasn't just to be a team principal again, but to actually have ownership in a team.
Ownership, like a stake in the team itself.
That was Ecclestone's take. And if that was Horner's goal, well, that probably wouldn't fit with Cadillac's corporate structure as part of GM. It could have been a fundamental mismatch in ambition.
That makes a lot of sense. It wasn't just about a job, maybe, but about control and equity. That puts his future in a different light.
It really does. And it leaves him in a bit of a tough spot now, doesn't it?
Yeah, where does he go? Alpine, which seemed possible, now looks unlikely, according to reports.
Seems that way. One source basically said he has few friends and nowhere clear to go right now in the F1 paddock.
Ouch. That's quite a statement about someone who dominated for so long.
It is. The speculation now is you might just have to sit out the 2026 season entirely. Wait and see if opportunities open up later.
It's a stark reminder of how quickly fortunes can change, even for the biggest names. And it underlines those complex reasons behind big decisions in sport and business.
The long-term implications are fascinating.
And just quickly, what about the social media reaction after the debunking? How did those platforms that fan the flames react when it was all over?
Oh, the pivot was instant.
Yeah.
X, Twitter just exploded with the news of the denial. You had accounts like @F1Anija sharing the tourist quotes directly. Others, like the Verstappen fan accounts, were already making memes about the rumor collapsing.
Of course, memes solve everything.
Naturally. And YouTube channels that had videos titled, Insane Horner Cadillac Deal quickly had to update them to debunked or rumor shut down.
Damage control.
Pretty much. Over on Reddit, the Formula Dank subreddit was full of jokes about the whole thing falling apart, while the main Formula One subreddit had more serious discussions about what it meant for Horner's career and Cadillac's driver choice.
It's just incredible how fast that cycle turns online, isn't it?
Yeah.
Builds up, peaks, then crashes down.
Shows the power and the volatility of it all.
Well, what a ride that was. From this really tantalizing prospect Horner, his win-first approach, Cadillac's big F1 splash.
Yeah, the narrative was strong for a while.
Through all the debate, the online buzz, and then that very clear, very final no from Cadillac's boss, this whole deep dive really shows you that mix of legacy, company politics, image, and just the non-stop F1 news machine.
And the need to look for those primary sources, the actual quotes, amidst all the noise.
Oh, absolutely critical. So as we wrap this up, let's leave you with something to think about. What does that famous Christian Horner win-first mentality really count for if, as reports suggest, he has few friends and nowhere clear to go in F1 right now?
That's a tough question for him. And on the flip side, how will Cadillac fare in 2026 with their experienced duo of Bottas and Perez? They don't have that rumored Horner startup magic, but they do have proven race winners.
Lots to ponder there as we look ahead to the 2026 season. Keep those thoughts turning over.
Absolutely. So I've had zero conversations with Christian Horner. There's no truth to that. We're absolutely committed to Graham Loden as our team principal. I can honestly say I have no idea where those rumors came from, so no disrespect to Christian, but we're backing our guy. Graham is our guy. We're super excited that he's here. His leadership has been tremendous. The respect that he has on the grid, the people that he's been able to bring, to the team, I think is a real testament to his long tenure and his experience in Formula One. And so he's our guy, and that's who you're going to see in 2026.
And this is unusual because you guys don't usually in F1 have early mornings. I mean, it's more of a, afternoon, late night kind of thing. So welcome. First of all, Checo, congratulations to you both, and you both can take this. So what does it feel like when you get the notice and you get chosen to be on this brand new team?
Well, it's a massive privilege, to being part of something new, something that really starts from scratch, and you can put all the experience, all these years that we both have, behind us into this new project. And this is what I'm coming back for, to a project which really excites me to represent all America.
There's a mountain of work to do, and first official test is already in January, and it's going to come quick. But everything from what I've heard is on plan, and of course I'll keep giving my input the best I can to make sure we're ready. But then in the end, it is kind of a startup. We're starting from scratch, from a blank page, and we just really gotta take it step by step. It's exciting because it's, again, when you start from zero as a driver, I can give a lot to the team, and that's what I really feel like at this stage of my career that I need. So and I love America. You know, I love Cadillac as a brand. So it's for me, it's like a match made in heaven.
You know, I have some time off the sport and to digest. It really helped me to digest everything I went through in the last year, especially with Red Bull. And yeah, I felt like I still have an unfinished business in the sport. I still have a lot to give. It made sense to me, you know, to come back into a project more than to a team. This is a project, and this is what really excites me. You know, Cadillac will be many years into the sport, much more than I will be here. And when I look back at it, I want to feel that pride, you know, to be part of the first years of the team.